We have Pat Clark here with us now, and I'm going to let him tell you what he does for a living. Pat?
Yes, I'm a truck driver. I do what you call a sleeper operation in Montana, and then we kind of switch and go to Los Angeles there. The trips are very interesting. Probably the most thing I enjoy most is that no trip is the same. Everything's different on each one, so that's why I enjoy it.
How much traveling is involved in, say, a week's time?
We leave Sunday and come back in Tuesday, and then we leave Wednesday and come back in actually Friday morning, and we're covering roughly about close to 1,100 miles of trip. So through the week we cover a little over 3,000 miles.
Wow, that's quite a lot. How do you stay rested and able to be a fit driver?
Well, most of this is through diet, believe it or not. You got to kind of watch what you eat and the proper rest all the time. With the new regulations, of course, we're required to have our 10 hours in the berth before we start driving again. So that kind of helps and kind of hinders you because it's kind of hard to sometimes sleep for 10 hours.
Do you have a partner driver, or is it just you alone?
No, I have a co-driver.
My name is Buzz Willard.
Hey, Buzz. Hey, tell me about where you work and what you do for a living, and just your roles and responsibilities at that job.
Well, I work with Catholic Community Services, and my role there is I work with youth. So I work from ages 0 to 18, and I try to take them out and teach them social skills, coping skills, various skills to help them with the problems in their life. Most of the youth I work with have some sort of mental illness, and I typically will pick them up from their home and I take them to the community, and I just try to teach them to thrive in the community around them. This is one of numerous places I will bring kids to hang out and to teach them skills. So I might come around to a place like this and maybe shoot some pool with some kids while I'm getting the opportunity to talk to them about things going on in their life, and also gives me an opportunity to, if there's any peers around, get them to interact, and we can work on social interaction. Well, I really kind of stumbled in this job. That was 6 years ago, and I had some guys kind of ask me, like, hey, do you like kids? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you should come work for Catholic Community Services. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I've always loved kids. I love spending time with kids. And when I found out about kind of what they do and what their day kind of looks like while working, I was like, yeah, I'm in. And it seems a perfect fit. I know that when I was younger, I don't think I ever planned for a job like this, but and in so many ways, like I'm not surprised at all that I'm in this job. Like, this is kind of where I should be right now. Well, it's challenging. It's a lot to learn, and even with my job where I've been working with kids, I've been able to use what I've learned from my job into fatherhood, but it still presents a lot of new challenges. It's exciting, it's a joy. There's nothing really better than being a father.
This is Alonzo White, and he's married to Lonnie Nettles White, and he works at the Parkrose Middle School. Alonzo, do you want to tell us about your job here and how long you've been doing it?
Yes, I've been working here for about 17 years now. My job primary is security of the school, where I monitor cameras and also work with the in-school suspension, which is a big part of the school. So I do all lunches and make sure the kids are safe.
Oh, well, that's certainly an important part in all the schools right now, and maybe seeing as how I live in the Parkrose district, that makes me especially happy that you're here looking after things for them. Now, do you have another part? Do you do coaching or something too?
I'm a high school coach. I coach over at the high school, coach freshmen and sophomores, and also assist with the varsity. I work closely with wide receivers, and I'm defensive coordinator.
Good. Now, is there maybe one thing that you could pull out as the particular special part of your job that maybe is most rewarding?
Well, the most rewarding part is working with kids. I think working in this position like this for 17 years and working with kids, you have to have a love for working with kids. Ever changing, kids change all the time, and with the growth part and to be positive and help. I love that part more.
I'm Steve, you know that. And I install furnaces, I install ACs, I install heat pumps, electric furnaces, and water heaters. It's an old heat pump that we took out last Friday. It had a little refrigerant in there, so I got the machine here out of the shop here and took the remaining refrigerant out of it so that it can be recycled. About almost 20 years ago, a good gentleman called Chuck Downey. Some of you may know Chuck Downey. He had his own HVAC business back that time, and he hired me and he trained me on the job, or well, other guys there trained me on the job, and he was always a very fair boss, and been a good job ever since. Since I started working about 10 years ago, I started doing retrofit, which is better for me. I like it because I'm removing the old ones and putting the new ones, so it's kind of like, sort of fits in with God's plan. Get rid of the old and have the new come in, you know?
Yeah.
This is my truck here. I get to play with it like a big toy, huh? I enjoy being a dad because moments like being in the kitchen and cooking dinner with the girls, and Teresa sometimes, she feels like it. So we have a good time making dinner. Most of the good times is when we're making dessert, like cookies or a cake. The girls really enjoy doing that, and we have a lot of fun around tables, playing games once in a while, like old-fashioned families, you know. But most of the time we're on video games. But there are those family moments. They're really enjoyable, and Christmas time and all that. We definitely have a really good time.
Hi, I'm John Livingston.
John is the father of our youngest member at Abundant Grace Fellowship. His son Jackson was born on April the 30th. John, will you tell us a little about where you work and what you do?
I work at Freightliner in Portland, Oregon, on Swan Island, and I test engines. I work in the full vehicle testing department, and we are responsible for making sure the vehicles operate correctly. So we have a desk job, but we also have a job out on the road where we test the vehicles in many parts of the country. So this is a truck that I'm currently testing after treatment system on, and this is Cummins ISX in a Cascadia Freightliner truck, and this engine is about 500 horsepower, so it's about 6 times the horsepower of the car that I drove in on, and basically we're doing the electrical validation on that, so we can step inside and take a look in there. So some of the other testing that we do involves different systems on the vehicle, like the ABS, the anti-lock brake system, the cruise control system. We test the transmission interface. These are typically automated transmissions. We also test instrument cluster gauges that the signals and information come from the engine and get displayed for the driver on the dash. So the testing is to verify that all those signals are working properly. We're typically doing functional testing, and then when the certain portions of the test are designed so that we execute different parts that are non-normal, so we cause different stimulus to occur that could cause the engine to function abnormally, and just measure and make sure everything's working properly.